Storytime is meant to adapt to stories, mostly, of great unadapted old and forgotten comics from the past. I combine voice acting with narration to abridge the work as much as possible without lessening its impact, and bring the stories to life in the best way I can. Please enjoy. Hi, I'm Nick, and welcome to the Fusion Space for today's episode of Storytime, the fan-favorite run of Fantastic Four by Mark Waid and Weiringo, Part 2. In Part 1, Doom took his revenge on Marvel's first family using magic, but Reed outsmarted him and tricked him into denying his demonic patrons, and they took Doom to hell. Before they parted, though, Doom scarred Reed Richards' face beyond his stretching ability to repair, and scarred the rest of the family in other ways. This part begins with the healing from that conflict, and continues on to Latveria in Authoritative Action, where Reed will take over Doom's place and move the Fantastic Four into his castle in defiance of the will of the United Nations, Nick Fury, and the Latverian people themselves, in order to demolish Dr. Doom's power in case of his eventual return. Reed only wants to protect his family, but his plans will end up getting one of the Fantastic Four killed, and in the second part of this episode, Reed will build a machine to take him and the others to heaven to retrieve what was lost. It's a spellbinding tale woven by two masters of the craft, and shows what the Fantastic Four can be at its best. Mark Waid is universally loved as a superhero comics writer, packing his stories with real heart and compelling characters, as well as amazing and fantastical situations. And Mike Weiringo's almost cartoonish style of art suits both the high adventure and lighthearted fun of the book perfectly. Note that guest artist Howard Porter also turns in great work on Authoritative Action. Both of these stories are from Book 3 of the 4 trade paperbacks the run is collected into. Now, let's begin. Fifth Wheel, Part 1. Things are bad.
Franklin, baby? Franklin, can you hear me?
Really bad. Dr. Doom came after us again. The whole family. I'm sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Richards. He's just not responding. And this time, he left scars. Doom trapped Franklin in hell? Literally hell? Well, whatever he saw, whatever he heard, and I don't even want to imagine, it was too much for him. His senses were overwhelmed to the point where his mind had to begin shutting down just to stay sane. Whatever he faced, it must have been horrible.
It was. I was there, with him. I say with him, but there were these monsters that separated us. I couldn't get to him fast enough. I couldn't
Johnny felt hellfire for the first time. He got hurt the worst, at least on the outside. But the lab's full of gizmos that could fix up a body. Johnny, no one's blaming you. Doctor, what do you recommend? I can fabricate some sort of sensory stimulus override, or perhaps a... He's the lucky one. Dr. Richards, with all due respect to your inventiveness, what's needed here isn't some magic machine. It's patience. I've seen this before. The boy wants to express himself, but he's had to withdraw so far into himself that his voice is muted. He has been putting things on paper. Things? Drawing pictures, mostly. I presume they're the things he saw. Sue is horrified seeing Franklin's drawings and turns the book invisible. You can make the pictures invisible if you like, Miss Richards, but he'll probably just draw more.
So what do we do?
You love him. Surround him with things he'll respond to. Favorite foods, favorite songs. Take him to places you know he enjoys. Comfort him. Be patient with him. And pray he comes around. They all need me to do something. But what? It's not like I'm staying quiet on purpose. I'd give anything to say something that'd make it all better. Johnny Storm finds Reed in his lab, brooding.
Hey, sorry you're stuck with a brother-in-law who won the idiot sweepstakes. So, any movement on the building repair? The contractors are probably slugging it out to get our business.
No.
Look, I know you're mad. You're quiet. This is you being mad. But maybe, I don't know, some activity? I could start clearing some rubble, or...
Do whatever you like.
Okay.
Johnny hands Val to Reed.
This that laser rifle?
Yes. Why?
No reason. Time machine didn't hit too bad. Let me just clean it off a little.
I asked you not to go near the time machine anymore.
Yes, and I am renowned for my listening skills. This is the first time I've ever uttered this sentence, so pay attention. I have a plan. Hop aboard.
Johnny starts up the time machine, and they both step in.
Whoop. You're not yelling at me yet? Man, you are depressed.
Where are we going? This had better not involve Davy Crockett again. You've already given that man too much trouble.
Crocketless. We're not even in Texas.
The time machine transports them to a grassy field.
We're in Hungary. Oh, perfect. Couldn't ask for better timing. We don't even have to hunt. Take a good look and back me up.
Johnny shows Reed a young boy and girl sitting underneath a tree in an idyllic countryside.
Given that we've gone back about, say 20 years, you see anybody familiar? Recognize the kid?
It's Doom. It's Victor Von Doom.
Yep.
Johnny charges a laser rifle. Meanwhile, Sue hides Ben from view with her powers as they try to reach Franklin with the day at Coney Island, an amusement park. With the thing made invisible, they look like any normal mother and son in their regular clothes. Franklin remains silent and unresponsive to rides, games, foods, and toys. Sue reveals the thing to the public in a moment of distraction, and they are soon swarmed with autograph seekers and fans. Franklin finally reacts, swinging a large toy robot into the citizens and yelling,
"Get away from us!"
to his family's shock and horror. Fifth Wheel, Part 2. Sue shields her son with her powers while apologizing to the people he hit. They call for the police anyway as Franklin begins to cry and pound on his Uncle Ben with his fists.
You did give up, and now you don't even try, and I'm the only one who cares.
Oh, whoa, Frankie, easy.
You keep acting like this is all okay.
Susie, I tried to hold him, but I ain't exactly got a dainty touch.
Franklin, please, your hands.
Sue encases Franklin in a shield.
Stop pretending this is the way it's supposed to be. Don't you care? Get us out of here. I don't want to be here anymore.
What's he talking about? Beware. The park?
I haven't a clue. Reed might, but... Franklin, shh. I can't raise him or Johnny for some reason. Franklin, will you?
Freeze. The police rush over. Oh, great.
Our ride's here. See? It's an awful place, and you're pretending it's normal. I said, get the fuck away from us, buggers!
The police arrive, guns drawn. Mr. Grimm? Mrs. Richards? There was a report of a disturbance? Just a misunderstanding, officer. We got it under...
You were supposed to come get me! I waited!
Control. The police look chagrined, seeing it as just a family disturbance. They put their guns away. How can we help? I don't know, fellas. Poor little guy's been through hell. And I don't mean figuratively. Traumatized him. We yanked him out as soon as we could, but...
No, you didn't! You're lying! Now we're all trapped! Open your stupid eyes! Oh, no. Surely he doesn't... Oh, God! Ben? He thinks he's still there.
Franklin indeed does perceive himself as still being in hell. 20th century Europe.
Young Victor Von Doom, yards away, having a picnic with his girlfriend, dead in our sights. You know what he's worried about right now? Ants. You know what he's not worried about right now? Getting his head blown off with a laser cannon. Come to Uncle Johnny, Val. Reed, take this. You've been in a funk for days. Here's what I want you to think about. Doom is going to grow up to be one of the most ruthless mass murderers in history. He's going to torture you, your friends, and your family. You listening to me? He will willfully traumatize your children, and he will leave you scarred. Or not. Not if you pull that trigger.
Reed aims the rifle. After a moment, he lowers it. I can't.
Can't what? Murder a man in cold blood? I know you can't. Surprise. That wasn't the point. The point was to stir up all that rage and hate so you could start keeping it where it belongs. On the outside. Because the way you've been packing it down, it'll burn your guts out. They say depression is anger without enthusiasm. Find some momentum, man. You cannot continue to let all this tragedy paralyze you. If you do, Doom wins.
You're right. Reed fires the weapon.
Okay, Susie, I had to phone the mayor, but I talked the cops into clear the area like you asked. What do you got in mind?
Showing Franklin he doesn't need to be upset. I can't imagine why he's so confused, but I know it's my fault. Honey, listen to me. Mommy is so sorry she wasn't able to be there when you needed her. There is nothing I wouldn't do to protect my son. Nothing.
While Sue speaks to Franklin, the world begins to fade away around them.
But you're not in hell anymore, sweetie. None of the ugly things that frightened you are here anymore. Look around you. See? I will never let anything bad happen to you ever again. From now on, if something nasty threatens you, no matter what it is, Mommy will make it all go away.
Sue, Ben, and Franklin are all that remain visible in a blank world of white void.
I promise. Franklin, darling, please, look at me. You're perfectly safe now.
Franklin remains unresponsive.
Why?
Because he's hip to how your power works. Just because he can't see stuff doesn't mean it ain't still there. Right, pal? Susie, the reason he ain't coming around is because he knows everything you just said. Well, it's crap. He ain't ever gonna be safe.
Sue covers Franklin's ears.
Ben!
The beam of energy narrowly misses both Victor and Valeria.
Ah!
Johnny looks at Reed, shocked.
Under fire? What dares? Victor, run! What if it's the villagers again? They believe we steal from them. They hate us. Victor!
Coward! Whoever's out there, no one threatens Victor Von Doom. Do you hear?
Victor, please, we can't stay here. Hurry!
Victor leads Valeria away, swearing revenge.
I will find who did this, Valeria. I will find them, and then I will.
Johnny continues to give Reed the same amazed look. The gun bursts into flames and Reed drops it.
Yo! What the hell? You need more help than I thought. Here, let me put on my Reed hat. You young fool, you nearly created a paradox that would have destroyed the entire space-time thing.
Continuum.
Continuum. Have you taught me nothing? You can't go killing guys before they were born or whatever. Thank God you missed.
I didn't miss.
What?
Reed stretches over to where the youths were. I said I didn't miss. I hit exactly what I was aiming for. He retrieves a lock of Victor's hair. Let's go home. I have plans in mind. The time machine returns them to the present.
Explain to me exactly how you didn't just make this worse. He's confused enough without you contradicting me in front of him.
That ain't my intent. I appreciate what you said and that you meant it, because you're a great mom. But he didn't believe you. He's a smart kid. He knows you can't promise him will always be safe, no matter what. I don't care if you're fighting a Skrull invasion or working retail at the mall. We don't live in a safe world. Learning that is part of growing up, but it's also what's giving him fits.
The world reappears as Ben hoists Franklin onto his rocky shoulders.
If he's got to choose between A, living the rest of his life knowing nobody can guarantee his safety, or B, living in hell, no wonder he wants to believe in B. At least in hell, you got a chance of being rescued. Walk with me. I had to tell you, Franco, a little P.O. that you'd accuse your old Uncle Ben of giving up on you or anything. How many times you seen me buckle under? Ever? Buddy, I'm no far alive for being too stupid to know when I'm licked. If any of us was really trapped in hell with you, you know we'd fight to the bitter end. And we proved that 100 times before. So why did you figure we'd surrender and not save you?
Ben knocks down milk bottles in a midway game while Franklin ponders this.
You never have to fight alone, Franklin. Not like your Uncle Ben did. Do you remember where he grew up? Yancey Street. The worst, most brutal neighborhood in all of New York. And you're learning the same lesson Ben had to. There aren't any guarantees in this life, but that doesn't mean you have to live it in misery. Ben didn't have much in the way of family as a boy. And that's exactly why he knows what a difference it makes. Right?
Yeah, take it from me. Hell really is having nobody around to watch your back and being left to rot. And that ain't your situation at all.
Ben reaches a bench and sits himself and Franklin down on it.
Okay, it's clobbering time. You want to talk about being trapped in hell? Look at me. Way before you was born, I was an ordinary Joe. A pilot. Loved, loved, loved flying airplanes like nothing else. Then, overnight, I got mitts that couldn't hold a fork, much less a joystick. Forget about steering a pipe of Seneca. What else made life worth living? Football. I was a champ in college. Except now, I couldn't ever take the field again without sending somebody to the hospital. Women? Even if they stopped screaming long enough to get past my rocky good looks, I couldn't exactly feel the touch of a hand. I didn't know how to walk. I didn't know how to eat. I was told I'd have to learn to do everything all over again, like I was a baby. And that wasn't the world I wanted to live in. So every night, I'd go to sleep and pray I'd never wake up. But your mom and your dad, and even your Uncle Johnny, they made me realize that even though I got dealt a bad hand, I didn't have to cash in my chips. Because what keeps you in the game are the good cards. Yeah, I got sandbagged by fate. But that was one day. I lived another, and another. Safest bet was to stay in my room, but sometimes I found the courage to live like I wanted to live. And those are the days I saw alien planets, and ancient pirates, and goblins, and underwater cities, and... For all of my crabbing and complaining, I wouldn't trade my life for all the safety there is.
I've never heard you say that.
And if you tell your husband, I'll kill you. I remember the day you was born, Franklin. The radiation in your mom's blood is gonna do you both in. We had to go into the negative zone and fight a winged guy, and metal-eating dragons, and giant flying buzzsaws to find a cure. And it was scary, and it was dangerous. And because it was all about you, it was a good memory. My point, and I got one, is this. Safety ain't all it's cracked up to be. Not if you live a life worth the risks. Sure, I could have wallowed over one lousy break instead of facing the world. And some days, I still do. I backslide. And you're gonna do that too. It's hard not to. You're gonna get lost in the bad. But so long as you got folks around you who love you, you gotta remember tomorrow can always be better.
Franklin finally perceives hell fading away and sees the world as it is around him.
You understand?
He hugs his mom.
Yeah.
So there it was. Not exactly the Slobberknockable Dragon Man or Tomazuma I've been hankering for. And if I don't get the turn blast off somebody in a bowling ball soon, I'm gonna bust. But you take your wins where you can. Franklin's improving, his doctor says. He started sleeping through the night, which has Susie looking 10 years younger. Plus, he's traded drawing pictures of hell for going outdoors again. And he's starting conversations without being prompted. Yesterday, he asked me if I could teach him how to shoot a free throw. Man, they don't make basketballs like they used to. Meanwhile, Reed's in his lab working away on some gizmo or other that'll probably fling us headfirst into another adventure.
Reed fires a laser at the lock of Doom's hair.
I was about to add business as usual, but I caught myself. All in all, this has been a pretty wild month, even for us. I don't know that we'll ever be the same. But maybe that's okay.
Authoritative Action, Part 1. The ground floor of the Vector building hosts a fantastic store, filled with toys, clothing, books, and other merchandise featuring Marvel's first family, and business is booming. Only one thing is missing, in fact, and that's the Fantastic Four themselves. The extensive damage to the upper floors from Dr. Doom's attack remains unrepaired, an eyesore in the New York skyline, and people on the street wonder where the team has gone to. Eastern Europe. Nadia Morturo has decided to be angry rather than terrified. It's a remarkable choice given how much faster it puts her in the grave. As of tonight, she is a volunteer soldier in the army of Latveria, a tiny country on the southern border of Hungary. Latveria's standing army has always been small, casually trained, and, frankly, superfluous. For years, its citizens have been ruled by Victor von Doom, the most powerful monarch in the Eastern Hemisphere, and that is all the protection they have needed. But Doom is gone now. And the Hungarians know it. The ragtag band of Latverian troops see the much larger force of the Hungarian army approaching with tanks and soldiers. Suddenly, the Human Torch appears, igniting a wall of fire and burning up the incoming army's bullets before they can strike him or anyone else. Now, the thing drops from the Fantasticar, smashing a tank as he lands on it. Now, the Invisible Woman blocks the soldier's retreat with an invisible shield, and Reed wraps a stretchy hand around the leader's mouth to silence his commands. No, you'll retreat when I give the order. Tell your government that the next time it even considers invading Latveria, I'll hit it with a computer virus that will make 1920 look like the world of tomorrow. Go! The soldiers flee.
Since when are we speaking for the United Nations?
I'm sure the UN will sort out what to do here sooner than later, but I'm not going to watch blood be spilled while they debate. Nor am I eager to let any attacking army seize Victor's unguarded technology. Suddenly, a thrown rock strikes Sue in the back of her head.
Ah!
Sue!
I'm okay. Just shouldn't turn my back.
That's my sister, you creeps. You want to pick on somebody? Hey, pick it. We're trying to keep the peace, remember? We ain't exactly loved in these parts. That's why we left the kids with a sitter, right, Reed? Reed?
Right. So let's stick with the plan. I can shield us from the people, but it's up to Reed to get us into Castle Doom.
Sue shields the family from the Latverian citizens as Reed flies them in the Fantasticar towards the tower of the castle. Victor had his defenses set to recognize our biosignatures, forcing me to do some tinkering. Reed equips the team with armbands. These armbands are built around samples from his own DNA. We'll read as him.
Threat level 0. Security disabled.
The scanners let them pass. The bands will screen us until I can dismantle the security system from within. Follow me.
How'd he get a hold of Doom's DNA?
We went back into the past in the time machine and Reed lasered a hair sample off teenage Doom.
Oh, well, naturally.
Gravat more? Fantastivo?
Mr. Fantastic leads his family into Doom's master laboratory, where they find Doombots moving his equipment into a teleporter for safekeeping until his eventual return. The Doombots refrain from attacking the four, as they read them as Dr. Doom as well. The thing makes quick work of the robots. Moments later, Ben carries machinery back out of the teleporter. They don't appear to have pilfered a great deal. We certainly took them by surprise.
You know why? Because this is a really screwy plan that nobody could have predicted. I got a problem. The Latverians don't know what a rat Doom was. No crime, no disease. They didn't want for nothing. Kills me to say it, but he really took care of them.
Like pets.
Okay, point. But it don't make me feel no better about strolling on around like we own the joint, you know? Huh?
It's only logical the Thinker will try to loot Doom's tech first. We can probably expect similar visits from Hydra, AIM, and Zodiac before dawn.
Reed?
Johnny, start melting everything along the east wall. Ben, gather up anything I deem worth retaining for later examination. Sue, barricade the castle and sweep the staff off the premises. We have a long night ahead of us. Let's go.
Okay.
Dawn.
Achoo! You'd think a man who has his own country could hire someone to dust his machines of death. God, I'm exhausted. Tell me those steins aren't empty.
Help yourself. Stretcher run out of steam yet? Geez, Sparky, I know you and Reed was talking before he dragged us here. What in the world you put in his giant head?
An idea, that's all. The things Doom put him through, scarring him. The guy was, paralyzed with depression. I just reminded him that freezing up wasn't an answer. You gotta move. You gotta go. Something's eating at you. You take action.
Like invading a hostile country. Thanks, Dr. Phil.
Oh, let him be, Ben. It's the only time in Johnny's whole life Reed ever took his advice. Let him enjoy it.
Sue affectionately kicks her brother.
Hey! Seriously, I realize Reed's been a little brusque these last couple of weeks, But think about what a fight he had on his hands. We were there, we helped, but ultimately it came down to a battle between Reed and Doom. Concentrate on what a relief it is that Doom's finally been dragged off to hell where he belongs.
No kidding.
Ben looks down from the castle wall and sees citizens surrounding a bonfire.
Nice. The natives are burning us in effigy. Man, if the folks down there knew the real Doom, maybe they wouldn't hate us so much.
Reed fashions his costume shirt into a rough flag.
And yet, it's not fair to judge them. They've always seen us as a threat because he taught them how to think, how to feel.
Ben, Sue, Johnny, I need you.
Be right there. Open your eyes. No wonder the Latverians are so protective and loyal. Look at their lives. They have everything here. Except freedom. Doom's gone. They are free. They just don't know it yet.
Well, they're about to learn.
Probably. All done heisting the lab? Ready to go home?
There's no probably about it. Reed hoists his flag to the top of the castle. We're not going home.
What?
Authoritative Action, Part 2.
Dr. Richard literally planted his flag. Literally planted his flag. This is what you're telling me.
These surveillance photos were taken within the last 24 hours, Mr. Secretary General. Yesterday, Richard marched his team into Latveria and laid claim to it of his own accord, declaring himself monarch, consequently violating more resolutions and articles of the United Nations Charter than I can count.
The people of Hungary are outraged at this trespass, Mr. Secretary General. Latveria lies on land stolen from our country centuries ago. With Victor von Doom in charge, we've been long unable to re-annex it. Now that he's gone, well, we want what's rightfully ours. So you send your tanks in to take it by force. When the FF sent them packing, you came here to pitch a fit.
What? Tanks? I have no idea what you're referring to. Sir, who is this man?
We haven't met. Nick Fury.
Colonel Fury is with S.H.I.E.L.D. and the UN's peacekeeping force. When it comes to border violations, the colonel's very well informed.
Particularly when it comes to unjustified military strikes.
So the Hungarians call dibs on Latveria, huh? So do the Serbians and the Samarkans, who, by the way, also want their barbecue grill back. That's some neighborhood you got. I don't know about the long haul, but in the short run, you ought to be thanking Richards.
Thanking? Its hostile takeover leaves the UN with no idea how to proceed in this matter.
Try it the other way around. While the UN is squabbling about what to do with an ungoverned Latveria, the FF's gone in to keep it from being overrun by every nut with a bayonet. Be that as it may, Colonel, Richards and his crew are private citizens. Their actions, however well-intended, are wholly unsanctioned by any government, and could carry grave consequences. The citizens of Latveria have taken to the streets, marching in protest, carrying torches and wearing doom masks. Reed looks on from his window. Political protesters. The Fantastic Four march through the streets protected by one of Sue's shields, drawing the attention of the crowd, who follow them.
Well, this is hideously unsettling. P.S. Hiding ourselves behind one of your force fields doesn't engender a lot of trust with the crowd. The crowd that hates us? At this point, better safe than sorry.
Go home! What did you do with our leader?
It's like they miss him. That's just bizarre. Put yourself in their place. Yes, Doom ruled without mercy, but 0% unemployment and universal health care by a lot of devotion. They want to believe life is good. Hard to blame them. It's easier to live in ignorance than in constant fear.
We demand to know what happened to Doom. Tell us! Tell us!
Lay off. I'd be happy to tell you, but I don't speak Latvian, all right?
You're speaking it now.
No, I'm not. Wait. Yeah, I am. So are you.
Well, I'll be a brown-wearing monkey. You're right. The headsets.
I thought to whip them up about 2 a.m. They taught you the language while you slept. They're an old design. I built a prototype 7-8 years back.
That long? So, essentially, you let me get a C in high school Spanish. Gee, thanks.
They reach a certain small building and stop. Here, this is the building, but it has no doors or windows. Johnny? The Human Torch burns a hole through its wall. I came across it earlier this morning. It's accessible solely through the castle's underground tunnels. The locals have no clue what's in here. Victor needed it set outdoors for ventilation, but he didn't want criminals and political dissidents making loud public scenes when they were dragged inside.
Dragged? It's a prison? Seems awfully small for an entire country.
The four enter through the hole. Space wasn't really an issue. Inside lies a guillotine, caked with old blood.
Wait, ventilation?
For the crematorium. Also in the small room is a large furnace. It's past time someone showed Doom's subject just how much of a monster their previous leader truly was. Sue, make the walls invisible. Let them see. Sue lets the people see past the walls, making them invisible. The faces of the protester turn from showing anger to showing shock and fear. They're not sure what to make of it. I suppose this could be misinterpreted as a threat from the new regime. We'll fix that. People of Latveria, this heinous abattoir was Doom's idea of justice. Not ours. Never ours. Ben, Sue, and Johnny destroy the abattoir with its killing and body disposal machines. What's wrong with you people? Don't you understand? You're free now. You should be cheering. We're here to help you. Reed stretches a hand out to a man in the crowd, but he shrinks away. The Thing grabs Reed's arm and pulls him back.
Family conference. Now.
Reed leads his family deep into the castle.
And I miss our children, who I would never bring to this place, no matter how long you have in mind for us to play Lord and Lady Latveria. It isn't like we're going to put Franklin in school here. How long do you think it would be before someone kidnapped him? Or worse? Are you listening at all?
Mm-hmm. Johnny, what's your take?
Okay, this doesn't apply to you, because I don't think you've ever actually sat in front of what we Earthlings call a television. But speaking as someone who TiVos friends and eats at McDonald's, I cop, reluctantly, to being a puppet of the cathode rays sometimes. TV, radio, magazines, advertising, a huge influence on most people wherever they call home. And come on, Doom's had unlimited control of the media in this country since I was a kid. He told folks what to think, and he told them constantly. You, on the other hand, haven't even introduced yourself properly, and blowing up a building is not a very effective State of the Union address.
Reed stretches under a large vault door and opens it.
They consider us the enemy because, for years, that's the picture Doom painted of us. You can't be surprised we didn't change their minds in 20 minutes. I don't know that we can change it at all.
I see. Ben?
I don't know. You're smarter than Doom was. You always were. But government ain't a science you could learn, like, astronomy. You can't figure out human behavior with graphs and charts. I don't gotta remind you of that. We got what we wanted. Latveria's free. Who are we not to let it find its own way?
Exactly. Reed, one of your greatest gifts is that you always listen to your heart over your mind. But you're treating this like an intellectual exercise. These people aren't a social experiment, and Latveria isn't your laboratory.
Reed looks at Sue, hurt. He stops them before a narrow hallway. Ben, you might want to walk ahead.
Huh?
Sue, stay 8 feet behind him. Then Johnny. Johnny, flame on.
But...
Trust me. When the Thing steps into the hallway, he is greeted by an array of energy cannons which fold out from the walls and ceiling. Ben is bombarded with painful energy bolts.
Ben, are you all right?
nah.
He smashes the entire laser array, crumpling the machinery into a pile.
No, I'm good. You mind telling me?
In a minute. Sue, I can't remember the last time you turned an invisible object visible. Try finding another trap down the corridor. Sue reveals barbed wires crisscrossing the passageway, bending light around a web of razor wire. Doom was just warming up. Johnny melts the metal trap.
Insert pun here. What's next, Indiana?
The temporal labyrinth. Keep sight of my arm and just keep walking. Turn left or right or even hesitate, and you'll be lost forever. Reed stretches his arm through the glowing field of energy ahead to the other side.
Lost where?
Not where. When? Yow, harsh.
The family follow Reed's arm through the temporal trap, briefly passing by a few dinosaurs before emerging back into the hallway.
As I was saying, you mind telling me why you got us down here leading with our faces?
2 reasons. To prove I would never send you into any situation without a plan is one. This is the other. Reed opens one final door at the end of the passage. The door opens to reveal a massive room the size of an airplane hangar or perhaps even larger, filled to the brim with nuclear weapons and doomsday devices even more dangerous and destructive.
Holy jeez. I knew Doom himself was dangerous, but my God.
I assumed the lab was the worst of it. It's easy to think of Latveria as a European backwater because of its architecture, because of its rustic agrarian culture. No. To borrow a reference from Johnny, it's the Disneyland of horror. It's the most dangerous place on Earth. And Victor cannot have it anymore. Victor's dead. Supposedly. What if he's not? How often have we been fooled in the past? How many times has he been gone, or even deposed since we've been sparring? 6? 7? More? He'll be back. Why pretend?
Reed, you saw him swallowed by hell. You're being...
Unrealistic? Sue, he always comes back. And when he does, he comes back to his technology, and his fortune, and his sovereignty, and his diplomatic immunity, and he hurts you, and me, and our children, and... And I'm done with it. I'm done with it. We keep accomplishing half the job. We beat Victor, but we don't clean up after him. And only we can. Not UN inspectors, not some Latverian burgomeister in stockings and a tweed hat. This room's defenses would have cut them in half. And suppose someone does make it in, another government. What's to keep them from appropriating these weapons, despite the fact that some of them only Doom knew how to operate? We're in charge because we're responsible. We have to undo Victor's damage. And I say that when he does rise again, he finds we've left him with nothing. Nothing. Reed places his hand out, and one by one the others place their own hands on his in solidarity. Authoritative Action, Part 3. Reed Richards addresses the people of Latveria on TV. Citizens of Latveria, good evening. My name is Dr. Reed Richards, and I owe you an apology. 1 week ago, with the help of my family, my wife Susan Richards, my brother-in-law Johnny Storm, and my friend Ben Grimm, I defeated your former ruler of many years, Victor Von Doom, in final combat. For that, I am genuinely convinced no apology is required. Though my family and I believe unequivocally in the sanctity of human life, there can be no question that the world is better off without that one man, given the pain and suffering he gleefully inflicted, and would have continued to inflict, upon any people or nation who dared oppose his tyrannical reign of cruelty. Shortly thereafter, in Doom's absence, I declared myself sovereign of Latveria in order to fill a void in power that threatened Latveria's borders from several directions. However, I set to work without informing any of you of our intentions here, and for that, I am sorry. Let me rectify that. Despite what I'm sure Doom has told you repeatedly, we come to you in peace and utter benevolence, without one single purpose other than to make your lives better. Already we have genetically and safely refertilized fields and planted crops that will bring new prosperity to this land. Ben tills the field with a giant plow and Johnny drops seeds from above. We have set to work dismantling Doom's vast hidden cache of weapons of mass destruction, the very existence of which threatens the lives of all Latverians. Johnny and Sue destroyed the machines, and we have begun impounding Doom's squadron of hidden robot police, the remorseless clockwork machines who enforce Doom's laws without mercy. The screen shows the Doombot with its head being taken off. No one should have to live in fear. No children should have to worry that their parents will be dragged off into the night simply for the crime of displeasing a mad dictator. That need no longer be. Our only objective is to create a climate of freedom. Our only goal is to turn Doom's horrific presence into a fading memory. To that end, at dawn tomorrow I will throw open the doors of this castle Doom called home, and invite you to help exorcise its demons. At Reed's invitation, the citizens flood into the open castle, carrying crude weapons. The people Doom oppressed for so long take their revenge, carrying away anything of value and destroying statues and images of their dictator. When a man hesitates to cut a portrait of Victor's mother out of respect for all mothers, Reed tears the painting out of its golden frame, saying there's no point honoring a woman who brought a monster into the world. Ben is shocked that Reed is going so far. It's not like him. While Johnny and Sue watch over the crowd to prevent any violence, a man in an overcoat reveals that he is wearing a bomb, and he's here to strike a blow for the resistance.
This might be the time for a bomb-proof force field. Just saying. That saves our lives, but not his. Flame on. Yes, a guy on fire coming toward him. That should ease the tension. Just do it. That's a plan?
Nah, that's just to get his attention. This is the plan.
Johnny distracted with his fire, while Ben sneaks up behind him and takes him out with one punch, his detonator flying from his hand.
Moments later.
What is that thing?
Wakandan black market. Detonation emits a vibranium pulse that fragments the molecules of everyone and everything in a 50-meter radius.
Yow.
Johnny, I thought you were looking into this resistance.
Reed slams the man against the wall as he interrogates him. And you dare come in here and threaten us?
Stretcho, whoa, this ain't the way we agreed to handle this kind of problem. Susie, you and Matchstick take the guy outside. Remind folks that if we was the bad guys he made us out to be, we'd have let him die. Tell him to watch him, but that he ain't to be hurt.
Aye, aye, Captain.
That's the message we want to send, right? That he's lucky we got to him before the Doombots did? The Doombots. We ain't 100% sure we found them all yet, you said.
Oh, right. United Nations Headquarters, New York. For the last time, gentlemen, the United States government fully disavows Dr. Richards' actions. However, Richards is an American citizen. His transgressions on foreign soil are ours to deal with, not yours. The U.S. will not be dictated to in this matter.
Of course not. Otherwise, other countries besides America might be allowed to benefit from advanced Latverian technology. Unacceptable! With Japan or India plundering Doom's machinery and weapons, the U.S. would demand fairness. Mind control, chronal displacement, a superior nuclear arsenal. Possession of any one of Doom's devices would catapult the U.S. from superpower to the world's only power. How can we fail to interpret your hesitance in addressing Richard's hostile invasion as anything but U.S. support?
Mr. Secretary General, Colonel Fury, we tire of debating this matter. Therefore, an ultimatum. If the Americans do not visibly withdraw from Latveria within 48 hours, a coalition of 39 nations, including China and Russia, will declare war on its self-appointed leader, and, quite possibly, America itself. Investigating the underground resistance movement leads Ben and Johnny to a hideout, but the members of the movement react with great fear, and the heroes are unable to convince the men that they come in peace. Suddenly, the wall is caved in by a wave of Doombots.
Doombots!
Thank God.
What?
I said, it's clobbering time.
Johnny fires his flames, and the thing smashes the robots with his fists.
Damn it. I told Reed we done flushed all these bots out of hiding. I bet they was pre-programmed to go after any kind of insurrection. Get these men out of here.
On it. This way, fellas.
Johnny burns down the door to create an exit, only to find more Doombots behind the door. Johnny is blasted by a Doombot.
Ah!
Johnny!
It's okay. Knock the wind out of me. Too many men, too close. I can't pour on the heat without burning somebody.
Ben and Johnny keep fighting, but they are quickly becoming overwhelmed by the sheer number of foes. Finally, they are backed into a corner, defending the citizens from the army of robots.
We're trapped.
Get on the comlink.
No good. It's shorted out.
The robots deploy gas, and the heroes soon begin to lose consciousness.
Let me try mine. We got LCO. There's nowhere where we're at before it's too late. Reed? Reed, can you hear me? Reed?
Only to find that Reed himself is leading the Doombots, as he appears among them, holding a remote control. Authoritative Action, Part 4. So you're threatening me, Colonel Fury?
No, Dr. Richards. I'm warning you, because we've known each other since Latveria was 3 bars at a well. Get out. Now. You understand the personal consequences to your family if you don't?
Nick, tell the President to stand down. Remind him he owes me his trust 100 times over. I have always served my government proudly.
He's aware of that. Unfortunately, 39 of our most powerful allies use that as evidence that your seizure of Latverian resources and weapons is a covert U.S. mission.
I'm not irresponsible enough to hand Victor's arsenal over to anyone. This is an independent operation.
And by ignoring our numerous attempts to contact you, you backed America into a corner where to prove that, we got no choice but to drag you out of here, kicking and screaming if necessary.
And then what? You station multinational soldiers in the streets? Nick, this isn't Iraq. Latveria is a highly self-sufficient nation with no racial issues and a stable economy. The UN could very easily put a worse government in charge. Reed tosses Nick a file. Yes, there's still work to be done. I've only begun to dispose of Doom's arsenal. Still, with Sue and Johnny's help, I've already established a national trust for export revenue. Money is no longer being routed into Doom's personal coffers. Instead, it's going toward training and selecting locals capable of internal leadership.
To take office when?
When I say they're ready.
That's not your call. Allied powers are perfectly capable of organizing fair elections. Occupation helped democratize West Germany and Japan after World War II.
And failed miserably in Cambodia and Haiti. Elections don't automatically produce democracy, Nick. Vladimir Putin was elected, but rules Russia like an autocrat.
At least the citizens had some say. You don't think the citizens here look at you and wonder if they're being secretly annexed by the U.S.?
Johnny? Ben? Reed, have you seen... Oh, hello, Nick. What brings you here?
Are you serious? Richard, she's your wife. You haven't told her?
Told me what?
Sue, trust me, neither of us has time to go over it again. Ask your husband how he's played you by keeping you in the dark. Reed, you know your deadline. Fury to Hellcarrier. Report me to the West troops.
Nick Fury teleports away.
What deadline? And I haven't seen Ben or Johnny since last night. Where are they?
They're being disciplined.
What?
Follow me.
Call that backup? Wake up, you lummox.
How long we been out?
I know you can't count past 3, so you might have to guess.
12 hours, 35 minutes.
Boys? Reed, how did they get in a cell?
You. I'll tell you how.
Yeah.
Ben smashes their way out of the cell. He pins Reed to the wall with one huge orange mitt, cracking the stone behind him.
Big Brain here found us making nice with the townies and used Doom's robots to gas us.
Yeah.
You want to stab me in the back, you jerk? Do it to my face.
Yeah. Wait, what? That can't be true. Reed would never.
No, Ben's correct, though only Ben and Johnny saw me. I used Doombots to break up a resistance meeting and gather up the participants. Reed stretches out of Ben's grip.
And where are they?
I've set them free so that the Doombots can make a public example of them. Reed's family are horrified to see Doombots chasing people in the streets below the castle window.
Holy crap! That's crazy talk! Call them off!
Too late. Of course, if you want to save the villagers.
Well, yeah. See? I told you Reed got a screw loose.
They spring into action, bursting out of the tower and rushing into battle.
Later. Right now, concentrate on minimizing the casualties.
Sue blows a Doombot apart with her invisible shield as Ben lands on the street. Take that, Victor. The Doombots fire nets from their hands to trap the fleeing citizens of Latveria.
A net? What's next, a stop sign? Aren't Doombots normally a little more formidable than this?
The Human Torch burns the net up in midair.
This one's too tough. This one's not tough enough. Ain't you ever happy? Check it out, Goldilocks. This one's just right.
The thing swings a Doombot like a bat, knocking another's head off like a baseball. Sue gathers some Doombots up in a large bubble.
Hope everyone's wearing their SPF 30. Huh? Oh, duh. Sorry.
Johnny turns up the flames, melting Sue's captive robots.
Don't stare directly at me, people. Know what the difference is between me and the sun?
One's a big ball of hot gas, and the other lights the planet?
Oh, the laughter. Please, stop. My sides are hurting.
The Latverians surround the 3 heroes.
Incoming. Did they run out of tomatoes to hurl?
They cheer and hoist the 3 onto their shoulders.
That was then. This is now, sis. They just watched us save their babushkas. They're grateful. We're heroes. Roll with it. Ben, you with us?
Even Ben, with some difficulty.
Lift with your legs. I ain't feeling the love.
It's not enough. I can't believe it came to this. We're completely out of time. We're out of time. Ben, Sue, and Johnny return to Reed.
Hey, you, Mr. Doomtastic. That out there? Line. Over it. I thought the plan was not to terrorize the hoi polloi.
They were never in danger. They had you. We've already made tremendous progress overturning any lingering loyalty the Latverians had for Doom. Once word spread that you saved them from the last of Victor's rampaging enforcers, that should cement our popularity. Well done.
That was the final asset left to be stripped from Doom. His subject's allegiance. So we was part of a show? A setup?
You're out of control! Where do you get off playing us? Answer me!
Johnny flames on in anger.
Answer him.
I thought you were on my side.
The sides, Reed, are us versus Doom, and we won. And since then... I didn't want to admit it, but Ben was right yesterday. I can't tell if it's exhaustion or nerves or leftover rage, but honey, you're not... Well, Reed, what's gotten into you?
Reed takes his wife's hand and puts it on the scarred side of his face. This.
Then we'll find some other outlet for your anger. No more of this. You've gotten enough revenge on a dead man. Haven't you?
Reed takes Sue's hands in his. Maybe. Yes. Yes, you're right. Sue, darling Sue, I adore you. Reed hugs his wife. Even though when it came to protecting our children from Victor, you were utterly useless. No, less than useless. Oh well. At least they have a father they can count on.
You son of a...
Don't waste your energy on me, Johnny. You'll need it for the war. War? Wait, Susie said Nick Fury was here. Something about a ticking clock. And that wasn't Fury's first visit, actually. He's warned me before. Apparently, we're expected to leave Latveria by a certain time. If we fail to do so, an unprecedented alliance of UN forces will begin a mass invasion to oust us. Thanks for passing that along. When is this deadline? Reed checks his watch. In about 40 minutes.
Nick Fury. We have to find Nick. Make him call off the attack.
Sue forms a bubble around herself and Ben, and she and Johnny fly through the air, racing to the front lines.
Hurry!
Finally. After watching his family leave, Reed stretches downstairs.
Ben, if Nick owes you any favors, now's the time to call him in.
Got it.
Reed Richards looks wistfully at a photo of his family, all together when they were still whole, before Doom scarred them. A single tear rolls down his cheek. He begins writing a note, which reads, Had to drive you all away to eliminate the chance you'd interfere. I hope you and the others can forgive me for what I'm about to do. I would explain my behavior if I could, but for the only time in my life, words fail me. Hyperlinked to this document, you'll find personal messages to everyone, but the one that applies to all of you is this. You have always shown me the greatest love any man could ever know. Reed. He places the notepad on the stairs leading into a room with a large machine as the others reach Nick Fury.
Nick! Nick! Don't let him open fire! Something's wrong with Reed's mind! He needs help! We can fix this, but we need more time.
I can't get you any, Susan. My hands are tied.
Then we go back. We're not abandoning Reed.
You have no choice in the matter. You just did. Sue, there is no going back. Trust me, though. You made the only decision you could have. Nah. Yes, hear me out. This is what Reed is obviously keeping from you. Despite our repeated attempts to negotiate with him, he refuses, in defiance of international law, to deliver this country peaceably to the United Nations for a greater good. Consequently, he's willfully forced numerous armies to mobilize at a staggering financial cost, chief among them, U.S. Special Forces. As far as the American government's concerned, your unsupervised, unsanctioned activities in Latveria have branded you agents of a foreign power. If you don't come with me right now, if you take one step towards that border, you will, like Dr. Richards, be apprehended, charged with, and I promise you, convicted of treason against the United States of America. Reed, what have you done? Don't panic, Susie. We've been through rougher than this. It's gonna be all right.
No, it's not. I can feel it. Not this time.
Reed's note begins. Dearest Susan, by the time you find this, I'll be dead. I had to drive you all away. Authoritative Action, Part 5. I know what you're thinking, Sue, but even you can't put a force field over the whole country. We are coming in. Please, Nick, we're begging you. I cannot help you, Mr. Grimm. It is too late. Surrender. Not without my friend.
She's going invisible. Oh, fuck!
No, we give them 5.
What? Colonel Fury, sir!
Yes, sir.
Reed revisits memories of his family in better times. Reed and Ben as college roommates.
Ben? You know the difference between you and Einstein, pal? Even Einstein remembered to eat every once in a while. Brought this back for you, as you were.
Reed and Johnny in the garage.
Hey, I think I found your ping.
What? Franklin's birth.
Last chance. Gas. Boy or girl.
I don't care, sweetheart. It truly doesn't matter. All I care is that our children love us like we'll love them. All I care is that we have a good life.
Reed, Sue, and the kids. He presses a button on the machine.
And we did.
A portal transports Reed away just as the self-destruct timer ticks down to 0. But at the final moment, the blast is contained by an invisible shield.
Hell.
And you are complaining about job benefits.
I stand corrected. I haven't had this much fun since Dillinger. Victor Von Doom, ever the stoic. Cry, voice Victor. Whimper from Master Mephisto. Correction. Temporary Master. He's fading? What did you do to him? It's not me. I don't...
Suddenly, Dr. Doom begins to vanish from hell, and he appears somewhere else.
Where am I?
Doom finds himself in a round, doorless room, the walls covered with images of himself in battle with various heroes.
With me, Victor. And I promise you, you only thought you were in hell. Richards. Always Richards.
You've no idea how ironic that statement is. I brought you here for one reason only, Victor. To keep you where I can see you. It's a little Mobius dimension I invented a few years ago. Infinite, and at the same time, very, very finite. There's no way out, for either of us. Just another reason for me to hate you. For years, you and I have been playing this pointless game, Victor. You use those around me as pawns, and I'm sure you'd make the argument that I do the same. That in this way, you and I are alike.
Not really. You consider them your equals. Then again, perhaps they are.
Doom stares into Reed's eyes. Only you could be hypnotic and condescending at the same time. Nice try. Moving your mind into another body because yours is broken. One of your oldest gimmicks. You'd probably use it more often if you weren't so vain. Please, I invite you. Project your consciousness into me. Take over. Be my guest. Then what?
You fool no one. There exists somewhere an escape from this place. Of that I have no doubt. You would never abandon your pathetic family. You love them too much.
Reed stretches his arms, wrapping around Victor and slamming him into the wall. That is precisely why I have done this. I have sent you through time. I have exiled you into the farthest reaches of space. You return. Hell would have been no more unconquerable. You and I both know that in 6 months, you'd have been running the place. Over the last few days, I've come to realize there is only one way to ensure my family stays safe from your noxious evil. One. And the sacrifice it requires leaves me no exit. Here it is, plain and simple. This is your prison, and I am your jailer. And that is the stalemate in which we will now be locked for the rest of eternity. You win, Victor. You finally succeeded in separating me from everything I love, and leaving me only hate.
This is a trick. Grimm, Susan, they would never allow you to forfeit your life.
Which is why I had to drive them away. That's what it's come to. I've no clue how often you relive the past. I suspect with some regularity. Because, and this may surprise you, I do too. I was impressed by your plans, Victor.
to even envision a technology that could literally make contact with dead souls. You weren't settling for interdimensional travel. Not you. You pictured a shortcut to the hereafter. To this day, I'm not sure I accept your theological theories, but despite your protestations, I knew your science was flawed. Impossible. Facts are facts. And because you were too arrogant to hear me out, your machine was unable to harness the energy you tapped. And from then on, there was no redeeming you. Reed releases him. If I'd tried harder to make you listen to me, could I have saved the world from the path you took? Probably not. But probably isn't much consolation when you set my wife's face on fire. Tortured my children. I can't take the blame for all you've done, Victor. But someone has to take the responsibility. What's so funny? Your opprobrious assumptions. Any rational man evaluating what you just claimed would have to see the truth. This is your prison, and I am your jailer. Then why aren't we revisiting my sins? Aren't we? It won't work, Victor. Play all the mind games you like. I couldn't release you if I wanted to. Accepted. A portal opens and the other members of the Fantastic Four rush through it. But it appears I have other options. No! No! Get out!
Huh? Reed, what's going on? We saw you vanish. Thank heaven we figured out how to follow you.
You don't understand! Get out and close the portal before Doom escapes! Doom? Get out before it's too late! Dr. Doom now has 3 more options for bodies to take over and inhabit with his roaming spirit. Nick Fury and the UN forces have advanced into the city, the Latverian army obeying Reed's orders to offer them no resistance. A civilian woman runs out and chastises Fury for allowing Doom to oppress them for years because it suited their purposes, and claims that he is a hypocrite for removing the Fantastic Four, who the people have come to love for freeing them. Fury's UN troops breach the lab with the machine. They find the Fantastic Four lying dazed near the portal machine. Colonel Fury, we've established contact in the North Quarter subchamber. Repeat, we've established contact. All their guns are trained on the heroes as they awaken. Freeze! By the authority of the United Nations! You are under arrest for acts of international terrorism!
Oh, that's a relief. For a second, I thought we were in trouble.
Johnny, shut up! Where did he escape to? Where's Doom? Dr. Richards, I'm ordering you to hold your position. We will fire on you. This is your only warning. Stretcho, you better do what the kid says. Doom! On my mark. Ready? Aim! What? The soldier is prevented from firing by a large beam of energy piercing his chest. It pushes him back and continues to impale 2 more soldiers before cracking the wall behind them. Doom has taken the body of Susan Richards, and a beam of energy has come from her head. You know, I always said Susan was more powerful than the 3 of you put together. Ha 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 ha. Authoritative Action, Part 6. Inhabiting Sue's body, Doom floats in an invisible bubble shield, while the other 3 attack it with their powers, and the soldiers fire at will, but to no avail. Victor! Victor, let go of my wife! In time. First. Doom scans the weapons held by each soldier until he finds the one he wants. Ah, there. For future reference, were I to design a weapon capable of penetrating your wife's force fields and then vaporizing her. Doom destroys the weapon with Sue's powers. Ah! It would look much like that, though with proper shielding. Ben, back off! I gotta go even harder to burn through! Poor Jonathan. If anyone in this family constantly overestimates his abilities, it's you. Doom wraps a field around Johnny. He throws the human torch into the thing. Ah! Ah! In pain from the flames, Ben smacks Johnny away on reflex, and he smashes through Reed's machine. Ben, be careful! Watch where you're... No! The portal machine! Oafish lout. Then again, what might I expect?
You can expect retribution! Release Sue! Reed stretches his body around his wife's.
Stretcher, look out! He's turning on you, making you invisible!
He begins to vanish from view.
Wait, you don't know what you're shooting at! Wait! Hold your fire!
Ben stops the soldiers from firing as gently as he can. However, the energy blasts still find Reed's invisible body, and he releases Doom.
Ugh! She's getting away! Take her down! You don't understand! We ain't the bad guys! We ain't...
Victor blasts a hole in the ceiling and rises out of it on a platform shield. Ben shields Reed with his rocky form as the soldiers focus their fire on him. Nick Fury arrives and switches off a soldier's weapon. He aims an energy pistol at Reed's head as he recovers.
Don't move. My finger's on the trigger. What? Nick?
And a second ago, I walked into this room to see 4 soldiers being slaughtered in cold blood. That makes you the luckiest man alive.
Why?
Because I know your wife's not a killer. Doom surfaces and surveys his kingdom, only to realize the people aren't fawning over him, but Susan Richards. He sees Reed's propaganda promoting truth, justice, and mercy, and the Fantastic Four flag atop his castle.
What fresh hell? Richards!
Which is how we got to this point, Nick. I was prepared to guard Doom inside that prison dimension for the rest of our lives.
I didn't count on your family following you in and opening the door. I gotta admit, it was a good plan. Except for one thing. The part where I lose my best friend.
Me?
Reed, you moron!
Can we focus on the crisis at hand? Take this seriously, for heaven's sake.
I am, but I also got faith you're gonna figure a way out of this mess.
Nick, you make certain no one fires on Sue. Johnny, flank Doom from retreat. Ben, charge.
'Cause this is the Reed I know. Welcome back, pal. What have you done to my country, you simpering dolts? What, you don't get trading spaces on cable around here? I thought you was all about culture. I bet you got one of Susie's force fields up. Good. 'Cause you know what happens when I punch him real hard?
The thing pounds on Doom's shield, causing him pain.
Ah! Feedback.
As Ben crushes the shield in his rocky hands, Doom lashes out with tendrils of energy, seeking Johnny. Oh, sure, Doom. Pick on me now, why don't you? And here I was afraid this trick wouldn't fly. They pass right through his fiery form, though. This just in. Superheated air equals mirage. What, like my sister and I haven't already fought like 1,000,000 times? It must suck being an only child. Reed fires a weapon at his wife's body, and it collapses on the ground.
Ah!
It's working. This won't kill Sue, but it should scramble her powers for quite a while. Let her fall, Johnny. Keep your distance. Once outside his own body, Doom needs to be within arm's reach to... Sue? Johnny, I said stay back! You're too close! Worried about his sister, Johnny moves in and finds himself within Doom's transfer range.
Transfer.
Doom, now in the Human Torch's body, turns in flames on Reed and Ben.
Great. Big head meets hot head. You don't like what we did to your yard? You should see your house. I know you said no parties, but...
Doom flies away towards the castle.
There, that'll buy us a secondary group. Keep him off our back while he does a fast damage check.
Nick, Sue's not hurt?
Not fatally. Reed, what happened?
Fill her in later. Reed, we have ordnance that will take Johnny out.
I saw. I don't have time to downgrade that one to non-lethal, nor the one you brought to kill Ben.
What?
So, you have a fallback. Not exactly. The problem isn't defeating Johnny. The problem is, without access to Doom's body, even if we succeed in driving out his soul, we have no place to put it. Still, we have to do our best to subdue Johnny. Nick, where are you going?
Gather my men. Reed, we're at war.
But...
Reed, I can call the UN and say Doom's back, but that doesn't let you clean off the hook. Not of the way you've handled this. It's still an international nightmare, and you're not above the law. Even if we beat Doom, you will be faced with legal repercussions. Moreover, while we are at war, whether it's Johnny or you or whomever, I will take any steps necessary to protect my soldiers. Got it?
Deep in the castle, Victor finds that his arsenal has been cleared out.
Richards, you egomaniac.
Reed soon meets him there. Your weapons, your spare armor, gone, Victor. Disposed of. The other heroes and Fury's forces soon join them. Your personal fortune? It should just about cover the cost of this UN troop deployment. Reed shields the troops from Doom's flames with his body. Face it, Victor. You have nothing now.
Lies! You're not fit to touch!
What, you? Reed stretches his arm and punches Doom out of the air. How can I, really? Victor, I didn't even leave you a body. Victor finds his mother's trashed portrait.
Mother! How dare you do that to my mother!
It was all that was left. Reed fires his weapon, opening a small hole near the torch's body. Built this on the run. It opens a foot-tall portal into the vacuum of deep space. It's like cracking the window on a 727. Doom's flames are quickly sucked into the vacuum. I won't even leave you the air in the room, Victor. I've taken absolutely everything that means anything to you. Doom tries to outfly the Void's pull.
Not yet!
Finally, he breaks away and circles back, charging at the thing.
Imbecile! Let me show you how to destroy a man!
Doom transfers his soul into Ben's body and grabs Johnny with his huge new hands.
Johnny!
Dr. Doom advances in the body of the thing, holding the Human Torch helpless with both hands.
Richards!
That weapon's designed for Ben! Fury, no! Fury fires at him to Reed's shock.
Yes!
Doom starts to break Johnny's bones with his immense strength.
That was the Torch's collarbone. He'll break like glass. You wish to save him? Kill me.
Reed and Sue are horrified by the sight. Sue, use the force.
My powers are still scrambled. Reed, do something.
Let him go, Doom. Last warning.
Vacuum gun's discharged. Think. Victor, this is insanity. You won't survive. Doom breaks Johnny's arm, ignoring the flames covering his current body.
Neither will you. It's your only choice, Richards. Kill me, or Susan is next. Then every soldier in this castle.
Ben! You're still in there somewhere! You can hear me! Ben! Take control! Ben!
3. Come on, Grim. 2. It's no use. Richard. Reed.
Ben struggles to speak through Doom's control.
Can't stop him.
Ben, don't hurt Johnny! For the love of heaven, don't hurt him!
Ben, you can do it! You're that strong! Ben, say something!
It's too late. Kill me, Richards! Kill me!
Victor breaks Johnny's legs.
Stretcho, I...
Tears spill from Ben Grimm's sorrowful blue eyes.
Kill me. Please.
Ben! Reed takes the gun from Fury and stretches out, firing it and hitting Ben's body at point-blank range with a massive blast of energy. The thing's body falls, dropping the Human Torch as he collapses, with a huge hole still sparking in his chest. Reed stretches to it. Oh, Lord! Ben! Don't let go! Ben, please!
Johnny, don't move. Wait, he's not... No way. Hey, you big quitter. Hey, buddy.
The thing's body becomes still as Doom's spirit leaves it. And then his hand twitches.
Ben!
There you are, partner. I thought we'd lost you for a... Ben?
Yeah, you did it, Stretcho. Doom's gone. Felt it. He ain't coming back. Reed, listen to me. This ain't your fault.
Ben, wait. Hold on.
That one hurts. You did what you had to do all along, okay? You couldn't have known we'd screw up your plan. But we beat him anyway.
No, 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 no.
Give Franklin, Val, a kiss from Uncle Benji, alright? Love him. Love you all. Don't forget that. Ever.
Ben, don't leave. Please, don't leave.
Got it, pal. Funny. Always figured I'd die close to Yancey Street. Only regret. Wish I was home. What a revolting development this is. What a...
Benjamin Grimm, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing, passes away in his best friend's arms, surrounded by his loving family. 6 weeks later. A sign on the Fantastic store reads, "Out of business." And with the wealthy nation of Latveria enjoying its first democratic regime in years, UN forces have, as promised, retreated. And while many Latverians credit Dr. Reed Richards with making this transition possible, the United Nations took a much dimmer view of Richards' brief coup. As have most Americans. Polls show a wide majority of Americans now distrust the Fantastic Four. Sue switches off the TV. She checks her phone.
You have one voicemail message.
Sue, I'm sorry to... I just wanted to... I miss you, Sue.
I miss you too, Reed.
I hope you and the kids are doing okay for money. I know it's tight now that the patents are gone. I signed the last of them over to the government yesterday, but in return, they dropped the rest of the charges against us. So, tell Johnny, okay? I would, but he hasn't spoken to me since Anyway, the way I began hiding my agendas, not explaining my plans, not confiding in you, that's what destroyed the Fantastic Four, Sue. I realize that now. But I promise, no more secrets, so I'm calling to tell you what I'm doing tonight. I just can't stand not having Ben at my side anymore. So I'm bringing him back to life. "6 weeks ago. Castle Doom, Latveria. Reed Richards tries to revive Ben Grimm with souped-up defibrillator paddles. Clear! Come on, big guy. Fight!
Reed! Stop!
Ben, I know you can hear me. I'm not giving up on you, Ben. Still no pulse. Sue, use the force field to retract the wound so I can massage his heart again. Hurry! Dr. Richards, we'll handle it from here. You are under arrest. Shut up, Nick! I can save him!
No.
Shh. Reed, please. Sue, for heaven's sake, move! There's equipment in Victor's lab. Maybe I can find a way to put the body in stasis. Sue, stop standing around! Help me! Reed, it's too late. You and the others will have to come with us. You have a lot to answer for. Nick, have you lost your mind? Not now! As long as we work fast, there's a chance I can revive him.
Reed, don't.
Damn it, Sue! Get out of my way! Didn't you hear me? Every second counts!
Reed? Honey? You've been trying for an hour.
What? 1 week ago, Reed sits in his lab in the Baxter Building, surrounded by notes, equations, formulas, and diagrams, all attempting to map where life energy goes after death. Asleep at his desk, he dreams of Victor in hell, but wearing his old metal armor. In his dream, Doom slowly turns and removes his mask. Reed wakes with a start. Oh my God! That's it! Fairfield, Connecticut. Today.
What do you have, an itch? Hold it steady, you big dope.
Hey, who's doing you a favor here, bighead?
This is sensitive machinery is all. The S on the gear shift's gonna stand for stratosphere. That's the kind of sled I'm tricking out. So cradle it gently. Gently.
You want I should stick my pinky out? I don't got all day, you know.
You help Reed all the time without complaint. No, strike that. You whine like a dentist drill for him, too.
Hardy ha ha. You need me to show you which end of the screwdriver to grab? Jeez, calling you a grease monkey is an insult to monkeys everywhere.
You wanna grab something? Grab my...
Storm! Johnny is snapped out of his memories by his current boss.
What?
What? He says.
You mind pulling your head out of your exhaust? I don't know what you're daydreaming about, but I promised the old bat who owns this flipper a 20-minute oil change. I'm not paying you to stand around and talk to yourself.
He's sorry, Artie. Johnny's just been through a lot, you know? He's really good.
So you said. Show me. Serves me right for hiring one of the so-called Fantastic Four. And what's that supposed to mean? It means you and your buddies caused a lot of trouble for the U.S. It means we sent boys to war because Reed Richards got a little power hungry in Latveria. You don't know what you're talking. It means I don't gotta know exactly what happened over there to be disappointed they didn't keep you in jail so you didn't pull something like that here. You know what most of my customers say? You guys got what was coming to you. Johnny gets angry. Get that hose over here, now! The fire department attempts to put out the inferno that Johnny's workplace has now become.
Ding dong. Karmagram for Artie Hames.
Who'd have thought gasoline was that flammable? Oh yeah, not Artie Hames.
At least, that's what happened in Johnny's mind.
Hey, Squirt. You know I ain't really here, right? That you really are just making believe?
Yeah. But this is how I get through the day.
Johnny walks away, having merely turned in his uniform and quit.
Sue me.
Just then, Sue calls him on the phone.
Hey, a pun. I wasn't even trying. Hang on. Hang on. Like he's gonna interrupt. Sis, where are you?
New York. Ben Grimm's most significant other, the blind sculptress Alicia Masters, makes statue after statue of Ben, filling her studio with them. She holds one's hand as tears stream down her face.
You calling from the city? Yeah. The kids and I are staying with Alicia at her studio. I thought it'd be good for us all, including her. That way we could lean on each other a little. Maybe pool our strength for the kids' sake. But even though she and Ben hadn't been a couple for some time, she's been... Well, even I'm surprised at the depth of her feeling. Johnny, she won't stop carving statues. I mean, she won't stop. She says it helps her pretend Ben's still with us. Isn't that sad? Johnny, are you... Okay, I thought I lost you there for a second. Anyway, I'm at my wit's end. I don't think it's healthy for Franklin and Val to be steeped in grief for this long. But I can't leave Alicia in this state. I don't know what to do. I'm not ready to go back home.
Using her powers, Sue gently covers Franklin and Val with a blanket while they sleep. Reed Richards dresses in his costume while he calls Susan.
Leave a message at the beep.
Beep. Sue, I'm sorry to... I just wanted to. I miss you, Sue. I hope you and the kids are doing okay for money. I know it's tight now the patents are gone. I signed the last of them over to the government yesterday, but in return, they dropped the rest of the charges against us. So, tell Johnny, okay? I would, but... I mean, he's made his preferences clear. That's not why I'm phoning. It's the way I kept things from you. The way I held my cards so close, never confiding in anyone. That's what destroyed the Fantastic Four, Sue. I realize that now. But I promise no more secrets, so I'm calling to tell you what I'm doing tonight. I just can't stand not having Ben at my side anymore. So I'm bringing him back. The message ends and Sue frantically dials.
Johnny? Johnny, don't hang up, okay? Just listen.
They both burst into Reed's lab.
What do you mean, bringing him back? Reed, what do you intend to... Haven't you done enough? What is wrong with you?
Not anything you want to believe, Johnny. Take a look at this.
What is it?
In layman's terms, it's a brain wave. It's almost immeasurably faint. It's magnified with instruments I had to invent in order to even detect it. But it's there.
Where?
There. Reed opens a large door to reveal the thing's body suspended in green liquid in a large tank. Short and sweet. I stole him from Walter Reed Army Medical Center. Once I made my breakthrough last week, the next step was to verify the viability of the mission. Sure enough, probably because of the way his body is constructed, there lies within Ben's brain the faintest spark of life.
Then ban it.
I can't. Not from here. Ben's consciousness, or life essence, or whatever name you wish to put on it, it's transmigrated to another plane of existence.
He's gone to heaven?
That's a crudely non-secular way of putting it. All I can tell you scientifically is that the energy that gave Ben life, like any energy, can't be destroyed, only transformed or relocated. Therefore, it's simply a matter of retrieving it.
Simply. It's not a frisbee on the roof. I know Ben believed in heaven. For argument's sake, let's say that's where his soul really is. How do we get there? Did you jury rig a really tall elevator?
I had a better idea. Eventually. In the back of my mind, it felt as if someone familiar to me had already attempted this very journey, but I couldn't remember who. Then, in a dream, I had the breakthrough I was referring to. I didn't have to invent a machine to reach the afterlife. One already exists. In fact, I've known about it since I was in college. Problem is, no one's ever built a working model. The one time it was constructed, its inventor ignored me when I pointed out its design flaw. And it blew up in Victor Von Doom's face. Reed showed them that he has recreated Victor's machine.
No, wait. The way I remember the story, Doom built this machine in order to contact his mother.
Correct.
But she was in hell.
Also correct. That, however, he didn't learn until later. Johnny, think about it. Reed sits down in the machine. Is hell the first place you look for your mother's soul? No. This was created to get me where I want to go. If my refinements and recalculations are correct, and that's not in doubt, this will breach the barrier to
heaven.
To heaven. Sue? Sue, you haven't said a word.
I don't know what to say. You keep talking about heaven like it's just another negative zone. I don't want to debate theology. I want to believe Ben's in a better place too. But any afterlife there may be is a sacred kingdom to billions of people. It's not the afterverse. It's a domain of spiritual faith. How do you know it even exists?
I don't. So I'll find out. That's what I do.
That's what we do. Now you're going to?
Son, I'm not sure that's feasible.
I don't care what the fee is. Try and stop me. Joke. I know what feasible means. And Sue, for the record, I can't believe we're having this conversation either. But then, I still can't believe you let this man encourage us to steal a rocket ship when I was a kid. That's crazy talk. And that's what made this team. We did that, and there was a lot less at stake. Sue, come with us. It's heaven. What's the worst that could happen?
Sue looks at Ben in the tank.
This is wrong.
What?
Oh, nothing.
Sue takes Reed's hand.
You're positive that this machine is stable? What if it blows up in your face, too?
Reed smiles at his wife standing on the scarred side of his face. Then I've got nothing to lose. Johnny takes Reed's other hand.
So, what happens? Do we have a 2 o'clock with God? Do I get fitted for a harp and a halo?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay, now you're making me nervous.
Reed activates the machine, and a brilliant golden light envelops them all before they disappear. The machine and the heroes materialize on a grassy plain surrounded by a tranquil, cloud-filled sky. The theory is that we'll each perceive this environment according to our own pre-existing theological conceptions. I sincerely doubt the human brain is capable of interpreting the energies we'll encounter on this plane. Instead, our senses will translate them into images we as mortal beings can comprehend. Huh? An army of angels wearing hoods and bearing flaming swords appear to oppose their progress.
Or not.
Reed stretches up into the sky, and Johnny flames on and flies alongside him to confront the angelic forces.
Hey, Einstein, learn to read a map. You sure your GPS isn't off?
Don't be absurd, Johnny. I set the homing controls with utmost precision. Sue forms a shield to protect herself.
Don't pop off at my brother. I'm with him. All those years of Sunday school prepared us for a slightly warmer reception than this, you know.
Reed wraps his midsection around an angel's arms. I agree, this is not as it should be. Whoever you are.
I'm gonna go with angels.
Hear me out. We come in peace. Johnny finds out that heaven's fire burns even hotter than hell's.
Ah! Oh, man. I thought hellfire hurt bad.
Sue is becoming overwhelmed.
Cover me! Said the girl with the force fields? Like I'm not busy? Johnny, my shields aren't working!
A flaming sword pierces Sue's shield.
Ah!
We mean you no harm, and there is no need for violence. Why are you fighting us? Reed pulls back an angel's hood. Where its face should be is flaming text reading, "You don't belong here." Suddenly, the angels all vanish as quickly as they had appeared.
They're gone? They had us.
They were here to deliver a divine warning. We're being asked to leave.
Leave? I'm not even sure where we are. Dude, this cannot be heaven.
And you're so sure because...
Because Britney Spears isn't feeding me chocolate-covered strawberries in front of my 100-inch plasma screen, alright? And the best-case scenario is that we have vengeful archangels trying to wipe us out. What do we do now?
We go get what we came for. You asked that as if there were any other answer. They walk onward, exploring this new frontier. Not far away. Ben, in his human form, stands on the outside of a massive door in an even larger wall, talking with someone he knows.
Did they turn around? Tell me they turned around.
There was that hope. But, no.
Then let me talk to Reed.
Can't, Ben. Too many rules are being bent as it is. Everyone here knows what's at stake. We'll just have to hit your friends harder once they're completely through the veil and hope that sends them packing. There's a reason no one's admitted up here without a handstand from St. Peter, figuratively speaking.
The three explorers reach the edge of the land they walk upon. Follow me.
To where? I repeat, this is so not my idea of heaven. For one thing, it's broken.
A field of rocky orange platforms float in the air before them. No, not at all. You're looking at the pieces. The beauty is in the way they interlock. Reed begins to stretch his arms out and connect the pieces together like a jigsaw puzzle.
You always said something like this was your idea of paradise. But we aren't you. How come we aren't filtering the landscapes differently?
I'd posit that, through force of will, our environs are shaped by whoever's in the lead, which would, at the moment, be me.
'Cause that worked out so well in Latveria.
You blame me for Ben's death.
I can't imagine why. Maybe if you hadn't kept your plans so secret? Maybe if you'd kept us all on the same page for a change? Maybe if you'd... I don't know.
Maybe if you backed away from Doom like I told you to?
Reed!
Reed shoves Johnny in anger. Keep your distance. Once outside his own body, Doom only needs to be within arm's reach to mentally transfer to yours. Those were my exact words. Stay back. That's all you had to do, and we could have captured Victor right then and there. Sue forms a shield around Reed to stop him. Instead, as always, you didn't listen, and that is why my best friend is dead. So is there anything else?
He was my friend, too. I'd do anything to have him back. Reed, he means it. You don't have a monopoly on that. It's why we're here, right? Both of you, stay focused. I admit our surroundings don't make a whole lot of sense to me. But I trust they mean something to Reed. Let's move on.
From high above, Reed can be seen to be assembling Ben's human face from the orange rocks. Through a haze of clouds, the three find themselves back in the Baxter building, in their living room with multiple copies of Franklin and Valeria at various ages.
Where'd you go?
Sue? Sue, you're too far ahead. Sue!
I'm fine.
Franklin? Wait, where?
Daddy! We're home? You could make that case. Hello, Val. How are you this fine morning, sweetheart?
Ah, our children.
All the days of their lives. All the very best days.
What? Sue notices Reed's scar is gone here.
Nothing.
You look relaxed.
Kids are accident magnets. It's nice to be someplace where they stand positively no chance of skinning their knees or bumping their heads.
Or being possessed by Victor Von Doom.
Reed, you make this team as safe as you can.
Ben makes you safer.
Don't worry about Ben's job right now. Worry about yours. Are you sure about this expedition we're on?
As sure as I can be.
That's not enough this time. Reed, no one ever gives you the Dr. Frankenstein speech, so I will. Maybe there truly are some mysteries man wasn't meant to solve. It's so easy to lose sight of that around someone with your brilliance, but I've had a bad feeling about this mission from the start. And it's not improving.
So you came all this way to fight with me?
I'm not the one who needs a sparring partner to get through the day. Speaking of which, where's... Guys, over here!
Johnny has found his and Sue's parents, the Storms, sitting by a campfire in the woods. Sue hugs her mother and father.
Thank you. I'm not completely without depth. Dad you met, but Reed, meet your mother-in-law.
Hello, Mary. It's a pleasure.
Likewise. I only wish this were a happier reunion. Yeah, Dad. Tell him what you told me.
Son, for the last time, it never occurred to us to ask who really killed JFK.
No. After that. Sue, your instincts were dead on. Something is bogus about our being here.
We've come to warn you. You must go home now, before he starts playing rough.
Who? All three heroes are washed away by a red flood.
Too late. Don't do it like that. It ain't right.
It's out of my hands. Besides, isn't this whole idea for you to find a way to open the door? If Reed has to do it.
I told you. No, I can do it on...
Ben struggles to push open a small door set inside the larger one. That's just his size, but it is blocked with machinery.
On my own. I hope. Just don't hurt him, okay?
Reed stretches a hand to a stalagmite and pulls the three up on a rocky shore in a cave.
Is everyone all right?
Worst road trip ever. I know my car bingo board. Barn, yes. VW bug, yes. River of blood, no.
How about a buzzsaw sound? A swarm of tiny angels assaults them at high speed like a hail of bullets.
Shield your eyes! Move forward!
Johnny flames on and Sue tries a shield, but their powers are useless.
I can't!
You have to! Remember why we came! He's counting on us!
They fall to the ground under the relentless tide of sharp blades.
Ben's counting on us! He needs us!
It suddenly stops, and Ben takes Reed's hand to help him up.
For crying out loud. All right already.
Ben pulls his family up to where he is in a chain of held hands.
Well, it's always me that's got to do the heavy lifting around here. Ben? What, you were expecting this handsome face to be Orange Rock? This is heaven, not Jersey.
They all hug.
It's good to be together again. One last time. No, Ben. You don't understand. Your body's still alive on Earth. You don't belong here.
That much is true, isn't it, Ben?
Dan?
Who?
Daniel Grimm, Ben's big brother. I recognize him from Ben's pictures and stories. He died when Ben was a boy. He was, by all accounts, the man who taught Ben integrity. Which makes his selfishness all the more shocking.
What are you implying, Dr. Richards?
That you're behind this concentrated effort to drive us away so you can keep Ben here in heaven with you, ahead of his time.
Reed, you're off base. Besides, we ain't completely in the promised land yet. Close, but this here is only the outskirts. Heaven proper is behind that door.
Ben points at the huge door.
And it's a heavy sucker. I've been trying to push it open, but...
Ben shoves the portal blocked with machinery again, but it does not budge.
But he can't do it unaided. Danny!
Reed can help you, Ben. In fact, he's the only one who can.
Danny, don't!
Sorry, brother. I'm here for you, not for them. I'm not the one who's been pushing you away, Dr. Richards. It was Ben.
Ben? Is that true? Why? Danny!
He's been trying to spare you. He didn't want you to see the truth of what he's up against. This door was put here with the express purpose of keeping Ben Grimm out of heaven, Reed. Now take a good look at its design and construction. A good, hard look. And see if you can tell me who built it.
Reed inspects the door.
Oh, my Lord. I did.
Reed and Johnny inspect the machinery.
It's a hodgepodge of technology, but these are my amalgamated designs.
It's like every whatchamacallit in your lab rolled into one giant thingamajig. Yeah, I can't make heads or tails out of the engineering, but there's no question it's got your fingerprints all over it. I don't get it. Since when are you teaching shop class up here? Reed? Ben, talk to us. What's happening?
Your husband's catching on, but this ain't gonna be easy for him to hear. I wanted to plow through that door on my own, Reed. I didn't want you to ever have to find out.
Find what out? That Reed's responsible for locking my brother out of heaven.
No, that's not possible.
Reed.
I'm your lifeline. Reed, I've been watching you these last few weeks. You keep thinking I ain't gone 'cause there's a spark of life in my body, which is why you got it floating in a tank and wired up like Con Ed. And I appreciate what you think you're doing. There ain't no questioning your heart's in the right place. But in your desperation, you got it all mixed up. Whatever life is there is only there 'cause your gizmos dug it out, amped it up into something, and won't let it go like they oughta. It ain't salvageable, but it's holding me back all the same. You understand? It ain't that I'm stuck here, Reed. I'm stuck there.
So we came all this way for nothing?
Not exactly. You came to say goodbye.
Ben, I'm so sorry. I never dreamed that...
Course not. Gonna miss you, pal. You know, Reed, pull it together, okay? I need you to get me through. Okay, Matchstick, it's that time. Reed, you wanna monkey with the door while I tell Johnny how all them naked pictures of him got up on our web?
Johnny flames on and tackles Ben, yelling in anger.
Get away! It's some kind of trick! This isn't Ben! Ben would never roll over that easy! Johnny!
Ain't my call, bighead.
So that's it? You big coward? You're just gonna give up and call it a day? Life's over for you?
Kid, it's my time, fair and square. It's not up to me.
Then you!
Johnny turns to yell at Reed.
Fix this! Fix it!
The ground cracks under their feet.
Johnny, I would if I could, but there's nothing to fix.
Liar! What is wrong with you? You're supposed to be the leader! You used to have good ideas. We could count on you. And now...
Reed stretches to dodge Johnny's fireballs. The sky cracks more and more as they fight.
Oh, jeez. Can I say that up here?
It's not his favorite, but this is not good.
All you do these days is bust everything all to pieces. Tell him, Sue. Tell him why we can't stay to be around him any...
Sue protects herself and Johnny with a shield, silencing him as well.
Jonathan Storm, don't you speak for me. You don't have any clue how I feel.
Reed punches Johnny.
Well, that's nothing new. Since when does Johnny think of anyone but himself?
As his rage consumes him, the land comes apart under Mr. Fantastic. In fact, you want to know the real reason your brother left the team, Sue? He's afraid I'll pull the trigger on him like I did on Ben. And that's insane! How could anyone live with that?
Reed!
The sky begins to fall in large, jagged chunks.
Danny, dial down the quake. There ain't no point in driving him off anymore.
This isn't me, Ben. It's those three. I kept warning them how dangerous it was for them to be here, but...
What? What?
They're spreading their emotions like an infection. They didn't leave their rage behind, Ben. They didn't leave their pain.
I killed him. It's my fault. The door! We gotta get everybody through the door! But how?
Ben rushes to the door. Sue protects herself and Johnny with a shield.
Reed, stretch this way! You're gonna fall! Reed!
How am I supposed to figure this out when Reed couldn't? And it's his work. I mean, I recognize this thing here from his lab, and this piece here. Well, hell, there ain't one gizmo on here I ain't remembered from.
Ben begins tearing pieces out of the mechanical wall.
Oh, no. No, 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 no.
Behind the machinery lies a solid wall made of orange rock.
Reed! Susie, Johnny, I'm going after him. Cover me.
Ben, we're the ones with powers. Stay back and let us...
That won't work. It's gotta be me. Come on.
Ben lays down at the edge of the chasm and reaches his hand out to Reed.
Big brain, listen. You had it right, and we all missed it. You said it's, force of will. That what we see up here, how we see it, it gets shaped by whoever's taking point, right? Well, I got to this spot before any of you guys. That means the hilltop, the giant wall, the door. I built it. I made myself believe the problem was you, that you was holding me back. But it was me all along.
Sue shields Ben as well.
For God's sake, you're not serious. Ben, why would you do that to yourself?
I ain't doing it to nobody. I'm doing it for somebody. Come on, pal. I ain't ready to take no dirt nap yet, and neither are you. You and me. Let's go. You hearing me? The bad times are finally over, buddy. You don't gotta put yourself through all this grief no more. I'm right here. I'm not leaving you, Reed.
Reed finally looks up.
I'm never leaving you.
His lead crumbles away. Ben smiles as he hauls Reed, now also smiling, up to level ground.
Ben, no. What kind of friend would ask you to give up heaven?
What kind of friend wouldn't do it? You need me, I'm there. Besides, somebody's got to keep you knotheads together, right? Now that you troublemakers died down the angst a little, what do you say we go on and read Little Angel Call and head home?
Yeah! Great to have you back, Benji.
All right, with the schmaltz already. I had enough slobber in time for one day. Let's go.
Uh-oh. Not so fast.
Reed inspects the orange rock wall, blocking the door to heaven proper.
Oh, for Pete's sake, Stretcho, get away from there.
He said, step away from the locked door. I realize that's like asking Anne and Nicole to step away from the ring dings, but how weird does it get when I learn faster than you? Step away. Or, consider a better proposal. You can't blame Reed for being curious. After all, this is the doorstep to God's realm. And in light of all you've been through, not only today, but in the service of mankind through the years, I've been empowered by the man in charge to offer the four of you this invitation. Stay.
The Fantastic Four are shocked by the proposal.
Huh?
I'm not joking. We can bring your children too if you'd like, or you can simply wait for them. Either way, you'll forever be at one with the Maker, in a place of eternal bliss. In the province of ultimate knowledge. Yes. The solutions to every mystery of the universe will be at our fingertips. Every answer conceivable, ours, simply for the asking. Absolutely. Then, speaking on behalf of this team, we decline. You may tell your boss that we're tremendously honored by his gracious gesture, but we're not yet done exploring. What gives this family its purpose and its joy isn't the destination. It's the journey.
Good answer.
Oh. The massive door opens and brilliant white light spills out from behind it.
Enjoy your visit.
A visit? Not a one-way trip?
I promise. You passed his test.
Well, now we're talking.
Huh? What kind of test?
He'll explain. And Ben, glad you came by. Old neighborhood still the same?
Not without you there, Danny boy. Love you. Take care.
See you soon. Figure of speech.
The Fantastic Four enter the light for their visit to heaven. They float through an indescribable array of images, sights not meant for mortal eyes. The inner workings of the universe itself surround them like some complex and unimaginable machine made of time, space, matter, motion, information, and energy.
Got a lump in your throat there, big fella?
Yeah, I'm choking on your hospital chart.
Understood.
Stay together, everyone. Keep yourselves limber. There's something up ahead. They come to a door on a small island of rock bearing the symbol of a sun.
Another door? If I was selling seeds, I'd be rich by now.
What?
Kids.
This is it, isn't it? So, am I the only one who's the least bit nervous? I mean, God's on the other side, right? Do we knock, or...?
We take the plunge. After all, we were invited. Ready? Reed opens the door, only to find Jack King Kirby at his drawing table. Did you expect anyone else? Well, they're coming in, or what?
Anyone see that coming?
No.
No.
The four enter his office and look around in amazement.
So, where are the elves?
That's Santa, butthead. Maybe we should have called ahead so we could decorate. I don't know what I was expecting, but I ain't exactly feeling the awe and the majesty. You sure we're in the right joint?
Hush, you two. Show proper respect for... Reed, why am I taller than the Almighty?
What you see is what I am to you. Don't worry, it's a compliment, not an insult. That's what my creations do. They find the humanity in God. Incredible.
To say the least.
Pardon me one moment. God has a phone? What's the number? 1? And then they're in the Forbidden City, human jungle. Right. Suddenly the Black Panther springs from the trees. Okay, we'll make it the Silver Surfer. Yeah. Write it up. I'll saw the designs.
Ching. Who called?
My collaborator. Enough said.
Your collab? But these drawings are yours?
Johnny looked over Jack's shoulder to see sketches of Galactus, Sue, himself, and Spider-Man. My contribution to the grand tapestry, ideas, notions, passions, are all a part of the process. Think about your world. It starts with words and pictures, the ordinary and the cosmic. That's what sets the stage. The play is your lives. Your adventures become our explorations. My window into tomorrow. Jack draws a colorful, futuristic city, and instantly they are there. How far out is the world that's coming? What is it? Where is it going? How will it evolve? The mystery intrigues me. Reed holds up a pencil. Forgive me, I find it hard to believe that the wellspring of all reality is a yellow stick. Jack takes it from him. History's greatest inventions are crafted using its simplest tools. You're smart enough to know that. Besides, the beauty of pencils is this. They have erasers. Jack Kirby erases the scar from Reed's face with the other end of the pencil.
Wow. Too good to be. Are you imagining us, or are we imagining you?
You're no one's puppets, if that's what you're getting at. Nobody can do your living for you.
No one can do your dying for you. We're all our own storytellers.
Jack sharpens his wellspring of reality. And there are plenty of stories still left in you.
What? Oh, nerds.
Jack draws Ben's rocky orange skin back onto his human form. You were gonna wake up in Reed's healing tank anyway. I just condensed your subplot a little. And about that, getting you home, that is. What say we make that my job? The gadget that brought you here, it's not gonna work a second time. Trust me. Still, it was a clever thought. I admire your imagination. Always have. You know to never stop asking why. That was the test. I gathered. Thank you. Reed and Jack shake hands. Jack and his office begin to fade into sketches and lose their color as the Fantastic Four remain fully real.
Wait, do you have a gift shop? Johnny?
You kids want a souvenir? Hang on, let me whip something up. A sheet of paper falls into Reed's hand as the brilliant white light again fills the sky. There, you'll earn it. Enjoy. The Baxter Building's lab appears as sketched lines from the whiteness forming around the family, before flooding with color, and the Fantastic Four are...
home. Who wants pizza?
Way to savor the moment.
Kidding. My mind's as blown as yours, dude. All that and a going away present. What'd he give us, huh? Huh?
A happy ending. The family all look at what Jack has given them, a drawing of all four of them in their old age, alive and well, and still together as a family. Beneath it he has written, "To be continued," which, in my book, beats the heck out of the end any day. In fact, it's convinced me that there does need to be a third episode in this series, so here's what will feature in that, coming in 2 weeks. First, there's a very fun 2-issue team-up where the Human Torch seeks out Spider-Man to try and help the Fantastic Four's public image. The two have quite a history together, and not always a friendly one. They'll be forced to team up to fight Hydro Man when they encounter him working at a water park. And then there's a story of some other villains who have it in for the Fantastic Four teaming up to attempt to take revenge, but it's not super good, so I'll be skipping it to get to the main event, in which the four must repel an alien invasion looking to eliminate Sue, because of her ability to see the invisible, because invisibility is their and other worlds' only defense against Galactus. Reed does this by tricking the aliens into thinking he's removed Sue's powers, but actually he's just switched hers with Johnny. However, that means that when Galactus comes looking for his new herald to find the invisible worlds, he takes Johnny instead of Sue, and that's a whole other ball of wax to deal with. And those two 4-issue arcs will be the bulk of that episode, which will finish out Mark Waid and Mike Weiringo's fantastic run on the comic. So join me in 2 weeks for the exciting conclusion to my Fantastic Four series. And as always, thanks for watching.